There we are. Hello, CFA Nation. Gabe. What's up, people? We are here for England versus Australia, third ODI, or as I titled it, the rubber match. The rubber match to decide if England will lose their first series or not this year. I plan to have done it from the very beginning, but unfortunately, I had that and we've all had this, you know what I'm saying? That 5 more minutes, mom. So instead of getting up at 4:30, I got up at like 5 on the dot, right? 5:10, and I had to get ready for school because I'm gonna stream pretty much right before I had to get ready for school. Although today did not wear any blue, still wore my jersey, my Lucky West Indies stuff, and yeah, I'll have to change before that happens. What's going on, Rahul? What's going on, Sarosa? Roger, what's going on? Prashant, what's going on? Just coming to see this match, man. This is super interesting. Super interesting. What's up, Master Blaster? What's going on? I mean, obviously, it made it for a compelling, third ODI match, a rubber match here to see who wins the series. I'm still licking my wounds from that epic batting collapse from Australia. But, that's what you got to love about sports. You always have a chance to redeem yourself, right? There's always tomorrow. There's always the next game. What's up, Arif? Arif, you got school right now, cousin. What's going on, Stefan? Asing, what's going on? Bilal, what's going on? Boomer, what's up, Boomer? Much love. Nick and I were talking about this. Lobby 9, what's going on? Rubber match, yeah. In America, that's what we call like the third game or the of a series. So if we're playing a 3-game series, right? Or it's really a boxing term, right? You win the first fight, I win the second fight, right? You win the first match, I win the second match, so I win the rematch. Then we call that the third match a rubber match. That's what decides the series, right? So I just thought I'd have some fun with the title. What's going on, constitutional citizenry? Man, but looks like a 325 flat pitch ground bounce here. You know what's really funny? So I get up, right? It was like 5 on the dot, 5:05 when I finally woke up. I did that, mom, 5 more minutes, and then slept 30 minutes from my alarm. So I'm like, oh man, I gotta get up, right? So I get up, it's like 5:05, get on ESPN Cricket Info real quick, start brushing my teeth, get ready for school, get my clothes out or whatever. And I look at my phone, and if I'm not mistaken, it was 5 for 2. I think it was 5 for 2, if I'm not mistaken. What's up, Ashun? What's going on, AKR? History class is so boring right now. Yeah, Trey, I have trouble with Trey too, man. He's taking what's he taking online? I want to say it's like physics, and I've caught him sleeping 3 times in the class, and I'm a school teacher. This is my 16-year-old. I'm like, bro, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you. Was it 0 for 2? When I woke up and I looked at my phone, it was like 5 for 2. So I'm like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. So I start, brushing my teeth, put on my pants, get ready. As I'm coming down, I look, oh my gosh, it's like 48 for 2. What's going on? Oh man, getting wickets on the first 2 balls. Oh, so they had a chance for a hat trick. Oh my gosh. Stark was on a hat trick. Oh my gosh. That's insane. I will tell you, I think that's the thing about England that's so deep, man. And not that it's changing my philosophy. It's not. But I've always I don't know, man. Bowling should beat hitting, you know what I mean? It should. Good bowling should beat good hitting. Good, just like in baseball, good pitching beats good hitting. But man, what I saw out of England is that that tail wagged and gave them an additional, what was it, 50, 60 runs? Where, the tail produced nothing for Australia. So it's, I don't know, man. Maybe in cricket it's not as clear cut as it is in baseball, where good bowling will beat good hitting, man. Because I think that that's the one thing I've seen in every single England match this year, whether it's England versus my West Indies, England versus Australia versus Pakistan versus whoever. England is deep. They got dudes that can hit, man. I mean, they got dudes that can absolutely rake. And when you got guys that can rake, man, I mean, I guess you always in it. Bottom line. Oh man, best in decades. It's I can't even, you know, I can't even from what I've seen so far this season. And I mean, again, okay, West Indies isn't up there. Australia is. Weren't they ranked number one? What's up, Julian? Australia is. You know what I'm saying? Pakistan's no slouch. I'd like to see them play India to see, because I know India is a powerhouse as well. But man, it's just like you can't be comfortable with any score, whether you're out bowling them or not, because that game's not won until it's won, man. I will not lie. I was so pissed because I knew Nick was going to let me have it. I was so pissed. Like, what happened? What happened? You can't judge play unless you know what, Raul. I don't understand that yet. And as much as I've watched cricket and I've seen a lot of cricket, I've put in hours, y'all. Why is home field advantage such a big deal? Like, I don't get it. Like, in cricket, it seems to be like the end all be all, man. It's like, why explain that home field advantage? There's no fans, so that doesn't really help you right now. And yeah, you build your team around your home, but I would think that all teams should have, if it's because it's how the pitch plays. Doesn't Australia have a number of guys that can bowl as good as, if not better, than England? Hitters are hitters, right? That still doesn't explain why the hitters for Australia and Pakistan and my West Indies and any team that's come into England hasn't been able to perform. Han, good morning. What's going on, Han? Han says, "Gay England going to India equals Delhi belly getting bad stomach bugs, hotter weather, humidity, pitches are not good for fast bowlers." And I can see, well, England only has really one or two spin bowlers, right? They got Ali on this Ali is on this team, right? And they have what's that, on the test team? They only carry really one spin bowler. They have a lot of pace bowlers. Oh, I mean, okay. I guess that makes sense. But hitting is hitting, though, right? And that's the thing, man. They have way better hitters, in my opinion, than any other team I've seen thus far. Am I like, you know what? I don't know. It's definitely up there. I will say, man, woo, I've caught myself watching cricket, and like Nick mentioned, one on Sunday. That's NFL, right? And I was watching cricket. You know what I'm saying? I got people here at my house for a watch. I mean, for a watch party, because we were watching the NFL's opening day, and I'm watching cricket. So I'm not sure if I'm liking it better than baseball. But right now, it's on par with football, which is huge. You know what I mean? Baseball is just my first love. Of Crick Buzz. for team innings breaks. Do a live stream of Crick Buzz for your team innings breaks. What on Crick Buzz? I'm not going to be able to stay through the whole game. I've got class this morning starting in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I got to be out of here at 8. But maybe this weekend and we'll be able to do it. The pitchers and weather are flatter conditions. Everything is on the world. It makes cricket interesting. Who chose an RCB? You or Nick? We're actually right on point with it's tough. I cannot choose till Nick chooses. It's tough. I cannot choose till Nick chooses. But you know, I've literally had my mind made up already for a while, and I'm just waiting to see if he's gonna change his mind. If there we go. Thank you. There we go. Whew. Another wicket. Oh, Zampa. Oh, Zampa. Oh, Zampa. Wow. Look at that. Zampa bowled it and caught by Stark. Bowled by Zampa. Man, let me update the score. Guys, that's one thing I cannot say I've never been more wrong on. And I saw Zampa, and the guy was getting lit up like a Christmas tree. He was giving away cakes. I was confused, like, hey, who you playing for, man? What side you on? You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, this guy, like, and I get it. He was put in a bad position. He's not a. We're in the 10th over, right? Actually, he's still in the 9th over, so I'll make sure I put that. So it's 67 for 3, 9th over. Woo! But I mean, even that doesn't excite me, because the thing is, I've seen England go off, and it does not matter. They can rock. And we've seen the tail end now. Until that last wicket falls or they run out of overs, you can't be excited, man, because I've seen these guys rake. Everybody rakes, for the love of Pete. CSK is like the Yankees there. Oh, Nick is going to choose KKR. He wants some Knight Riders. You know what? He's not picking a team based on name like he did with the CPL. I can tell you that much, man. He's doing some research. And I keep messing with him like, bro, I'm giving you first pick here. I'm giving you first pick. But he's waffling, going back and forth, He's waffling, going back and forth. Consider watching highlights as a video reaction, even if you watch games live. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to end up doing that for some of the IPL games we can't make. Like today, obviously, I'm doing this. I won't finish the whole game, but we will do our 3 wickets for this series today, and hopefully have it out to you guys today if they don't give us a million things to do after school. Hopefully it'll be a victorious one from my Australian side. We'll see. Oh, I'm tripping. It's actually the 10th over. I put the 9th over. It's I could not have been more wrong on a bowler. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about, right? Australia and England, when Zampa went in there and got lit up like a Christmas tree. And I'm like, this guy sucks. And everybody's like, nah, Gabe, Zampa's good. Woo-de-woo-de-woo. I think it was in a T20 match, actually, between Australia and England. And man, that right there just tells you that you cannot judge a book by its cover, so to speak. You can't judge a person on one game. Zampa apparently can't bowl the death overs. You know what I mean? Zampa apparently cannot bowl the death overs because that's the game he got lit up like a Christmas tree. But this guy has been the best wicket taker so far this ODI series, man. Immediately comes in, gives up 2 runs only, takes a wicket. Holy cow. You take Warren. All right. All right. No spinner should be in the death over. Gotcha. Then that was on Finchy, right? That was on Finchy because he's the captain of the T20 team, and he put him in that position. But I was watching it like, man, this guy sucks. And then, of course, he's come back to make me eat my words because he's gone off here. Nathan Lyon. I cannot wait to see Australia's test team. I cannot wait. I fell in love with Nathan Lyon during the test series that we did on Amazon. And if anybody who hasn't seen it, watch the test. It's so interesting. And then, it's a series, docu-series. It's not really a documentary. It's a docu-series, I would call it, about the Australian team, and basically the results of the what happens in the aftermath of was it in Cape Town where they had the, what do you call it, the sandpaper incident with it actually wasn't Steve Smith, even though Steve Smith ended up getting suspended. That was bowling. There was somebody else I can't remember right now, but super interesting series, and I love Nathan Lyons because you got all these guys. You got all these guys on Australia that throw gas. Yeah, Cape Town throw gas. These guys that can just blow you away. And here comes this guy that doesn't have that kind of stuff. He's a spinner, but he gets wickets, man, and he just wears guys off, wears them out. Warner, that's who the other guy, Warner. And I was like, man, it's something to be said about it. You know what I'm saying? You need those spinners, and I think every single bowler on the team said, he's the glue. He's the guy that makes this team go together. And even JL was like, I never knew how good he was until I started coaching this team. And that's a credit to him. What's up, Mintum? What's going on? 2005 Ashes series. Yeah, we just been, I just, truth be told, man, we've been doing these IPL overviews, which do take a little bit of time because we have to do so much editing on them, putting in pictures, things like that. And the programs we use are abysmal, but they're the best ones that we can get right now as far as editing is concerned. But 2005 Ashes is definitely something we want to look at. 2005 Ashes is something definitely we want to look at. We're doing the it's on our plate. And let me update this. Game 3 of that series is amazing. What's up, Game and Era? What's going on? What is going on? Woo. I tell you, I do love this rivalry, England versus Australia, going back and forth. I mean, they've got their own championship basically they play for, their own little title, the Ashes. And again, the philosophies are so drastically different, bowling versus batting. And I hate it. Nick and I were talking about it. He even asked me, he's like, dude, so does bowling still beat hitting? I'm like, yes, it always will. I'm hard at it to the death of me. But it's two organizations, different philosophies, and whew, I tell you, that's an interesting thing. I do want to see what everybody's talking about playing outside of England, see how England is. But I just feel like their batting lineup is deeper basically than every other batting lineup, I've seen thus far, man. I mean, for the love of Pete, when you look at these teams, Chris Wokes, and I get it, he's an all-rounder, but he's every time England needs a big inning, here comes Chris Wokes. And it drives me absolutely insane. You expect Butler, you expect Bairstow, you expect Root, you expect Stokes, you expect these guys to hit. But then I've also seen, Wokes go out and give you 60, 70. I saw Archer put up 30 something, I think it was that one game in the tail end. I'm like, are you serious? Oh, let's see. Did we watch the Mandalorian trailer? Master Blaster, yeah, humble plug for our Boring Reviews Nation over there on the other channel. We did a reaction to it. Please go check it out. Nick and I were literally ready for school, right? Because it dropped like at 8 a.m., 8:15. So we normally have a team meeting. Again, he's the grade level chair, and it came across my phone, and I'm like, can we let this meeting early? Anything else good for the order of the team? And he's like, what? And they're like, bro, Mandalorian trailer just dropped. He's like, bro, we're in school attire, man. I was like, Mandalorian trailer just dropped. And he was like, let's do it. So we did it with like 15 minutes to spare. And then he edited during his lunch break and ended up dropping it. It was so funny. But we were super excited. Yeah, we dropped it yesterday, but that's why it wasn't dropped till noon, even though we recorded it in the morning, because he had to wait till lunch break to do it. Can't do it on official school hours. But I'm so excited for the Mandalorian, guys. So excited. England plays with 1 through 9 batting. Yeah, they do. Have I and Nick tried playing cricket yet? No, I have not. But we're gonna get out there with Trey and my nephew. There's Ali. Oof. We're gonna get out there with Trey and my nephew, and yeah, they're gonna definitely, we're gonna have fun. I'm not facing a real ball. We're facing tennis balls out there, but we're actually gonna have yeah. Oh, I have school today. I'm just gonna dip out right before I got to get into class. But I wanted to, dip in and watch a little bit today. And, man, I love sports. You know what I'm saying? I love sports. Normally in the morning when I'm up, if I'm not, before I started live streaming cricket, I'd be getting ready for school. And before I leave my house, I'm getting ready in my room, getting stuff done on my computer, whatever. Because I'm not a guy that just rolls out of bed and can get ready for school anyway. I always got to be up an hour and a half before school. I'd have on ESPN in the background watching highlights. I mean, I love sports. So, and my thoughts, somebody meant to ask my thoughts on the Clippers. Trey was super stoked yesterday on the Clippers losing to Denver because now, it feels like the Lakers just have a clearer path to the NBA Finals, right? You know what I mean? I mean, Clippers were supposedly built to beat the Lakers. And yeah, I like Kawhi Leonard. His championship with Toronto was huge, bringing Toronto its first championship. The guy's won everywhere he's gone. Spurs. And I mean, the Clippers, he won with the Clippers, right? Took him to the playoffs. So, my favorite cricketer. Oh, that's so tough. That is so tough right now. Super hard for me right now. I gotta first watch IPL. I have to first watch IPL, but it's probably so far it's got to be between Pollard from my West Indies, and for bowlers that I've seen play live this year, probably Stuart Broad. Man, that guy's amazing. He had one of the most unbelievable spells I've ever seen. Even though, man, that spell between Wokes and Archer was unbelievable as well. Again, I'm a bowling guy, and I was telling Nick the recap that day when we spoke earlier that night. Like, bro, you literally got in the stream, came in, dropped your juju, and after that, wickets were falling left and right. You're no longer the wicket keeper, you're the wicket taker, bro. He was laughing. Wide ball right there. Tape ball cricket. Oh, yeah. I'll be taping it. What's my favorite form of cricket? Test. I love test cricket, man. I love the longer format. Here's the thing. That bad beat, and I call it a bad beat because Australia had that game well in hand, and there was just an epic batting collapse, right? Excuse me. But that doesn't hurt as much if it's in test, because you still have, okay, that was just the first innings, right? Let's get into a second innings. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? But it's an ODI. It's more definitive. You know what I'm saying? An ODI is more definitive. Oh, Carey. Anybody know? Because we don't get that. Yeah, test cricket is a fight. ODI or T20? Ooh, that's a good question. I have enjoyed T20 more than ODI, possibly because, you know, I have my Caribbean boys there, and they played much better. I haven't seen excuse me, West Indies ODI team, but I did enjoy the test format. You know, with those limited overs, it's really, you don't think about it this way, but bowling is even at a premium there. You know what I mean? I know everybody thinks, again, it's the way I think. People think, oh, you know, T20, you go on out, you're raking. It's a hitter's game. It is, but if you got bowlers, you're gonna win that game. Why? Because your bowlers can keep them down. They've got to score. They've got to score. Every ball is so precious. So, I mean, that's just how I look at it from that standpoint. Carey or Campbell to avoid first. Oh my gosh. You know, Nick and I had fun with a conversation somebody put the other day about you know, doing a almost like a fantasy draft, right? If I were picking right now, what's my top 11? Who am I taking to the dance with me, right? Or was it top 9? And it was such an interesting conversation. And who would I select? I could tell you it wouldn't be Campbell or Carey. Anybody, because we don't have that here. And Willow, I guess that day after I left, they didn't interview him directly or immediately after the game, at least not that I saw. But did any reporter, what was Carey's excuse? What did he say? Tell me that the reporters got him. Tell me that they got him and asked him, bro, why were you in there for 10 overs and had 19 runs or whatever that ridiculous thing it was? I'm just curious. Did they let him have it? Lack of experience. He just faced 18 runs the first 10 overs. Carey said He just didn't have it in him. Did he really say that? He said he didn't have it in him. Wow, Mintum, let me know what the schedule is. Maybe I could live stream one of the games that they broadcast in India so I can talk you guys through it. Especially now that we're getting towards the playoffs. It's the last 12 games. He copped a bit of stock from Warren. I mean, he should have. He should have. There's a YouTube on Skybox channel where National Son pick his favorite 11. That would be fun. He said. So Rose, I don't think he said that. He cracked his pants in pressure situation. That is hilarious. Yeah, MLB live stream will be a lot of fun. But I mean, listen, he's a person. He's got a wife, or maybe not. He's a young dude, kids, mother, family, whatever. So attacking him as a person is a little uncalled for, and I think I might have used the word coward. That's not okay. But he definitely let down his team. Bottom line, and you can't do that, man. If you're put in a position, we're in the trenches together, cousin. You know what I mean? We go out, we bang out, and you didn't do that. You were, in my opinion, setting up your teammates to fail, and that's not why you play the game. There was about 5 or 6 singles he took, at the very minimum, that I could think, whoa, what a throw. He beat it, though. Butler beat it, but that was a good throw there by Warren. Beat it, but great throw by Warren. Yeah, the top order failed. Yeah, the top order failed. I agree. You know what I mean? But, it's one of those situations where they didn't get their job done. You're down there. You're the last legit batsman. You've got to get it done. And if you don't get it done, at least play like you want to get it done. You can't be taking singles when you know you need a much bigger score and you're running out of overs and you got, you've got bowlers that, they don't really got the stick. You know what I'm saying? That's just, in my opinion, that was weak. You know what I mean? Not saying he's a weak person, but that was weak play. And if I'm a teammate, I'm questioning him. Like, bro, are you playing the game? Are you playing to win the game? You know what I'm saying? You got to play to win the game. You can't come in here with that weak sauce. So I was just interested to see what he was going to say. And I'm glad, people held him accountable. I'm glad reporters held him accountable and said, hey, man. And I'm sure in his mind, he knew I messed up. But again, what are your teammates? How do you go back in that locker and say, oh, yeah, I really, held it down? You don't. To me, that's what I always hated. I didn't care, win or lose. Obviously, you want to, when I played, and even now with Trey and my son J-Man, like, look, you do your part so that you can walk in that locker room and keep your head high. Win or lose, you know what I'm saying? Sports is a team game, most sports anyway. So you can't win the game on your own, but you could definitely lose it on your own. So you walk with your head high and make sure, I don't care what the score is, you always go out there and produce and perform your best. Can never give away in the bat. You know what I mean? Can never lay down. And there's been, professional athletes at times that do that, where they just like, this game's in the bag, so I'm not going to, you don't do that, man. Especially the fans. We pay to watch these games. You know what I'm saying? We pay to watch these games. Normally, we pay to sit in those stands, right? Shot boundaries today. Which team do I think is strong in paper in IPL? This is a great question. If I were just going based on that, and this is not giving away my cards, if I was going based on what team do I think is the strongest on paper? Oh, that's so tough. You know what? I think RCB is pretty strong. I think RCB is pretty strong. I think the Delhi Capitals are super balanced. Um, and if I had to, like, out of all the teams, oh man, on paper, even the Knight Riders are super good. I would have to say, now I'm thinking about it, it's got to be RCB or the Knight Riders. Yeah, the Knight Riders are stacked too, man. The Knight Riders are absolutely stacked. It's oof, it's ugly. It's ugly. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's the thing, man. On paper don't win them games, do they? On paper without injuries. I mean, here's one thing, and I'm doing CSK next. I've already done my research. CSK lost their best batsman outside of Kohli, right? That's tough. I know there's a lot of CSK fans in here, but CSK lost Renya. You know what I mean? You know what Renya means to that guy? I mean, I've done the research, but what he means to CSK, the numbers he puts up, he's their third batsman. This guy is super important, and you can't replace him with any player, really. Not this late in the game. KKR and RCB are both weaknesses are in death bowling. Yes, they do have a lot of it's rain up. Thank you, Raina. I appreciate that. Raina. Um, I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on those pronunciations. But yeah, how do you take somebody, the second best batsman on the team, away? And okay, we're good. Really? You know what I'm saying? That's just tough. That's just tough. And not to say that KKR is the only team, not KKR, sorry, that CSK is the only team that's experienced losses as far as players are concerned this season, because KKR at the last minute ended up having to get Ali Khan, the American, to replace Garney. So, but I think that was a huge loss for CSK. Faf Duplessis. Am I saying that right, by the way? Because I've watched like 3 different YouTube videos. I watched one on Crick Buzz. Everybody says it different. Is that correct? Faf Duplessis? I don't even know who the dude is. Yeah, we record them the day they're posted. Correct. We just, between our schoolwork, because we got to do lesson plans pretty much every day because we're online and we've got stuff we have to do. So, unlike other stuff where we can record a prehand or whatever, we recorded it that day, or if not, the night before, and edit it. And, during school hours, obviously, we're busy with our students. So really until close to 4 o'clock our time, we can't start editing. And the process takes, 2-3 hours plus, and then loading it on YouTube takes a minute to do because whatever, internet's slow. Okay, is that correct? Yes, Faf Duplessis. Good. Okay. Yeah, so it's interesting, man. You're from South Africa? Awesome. But that's a guy who is intriguing. I've never seen him play. I mean, yeah, they're deep. They're deep as well, man. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I think through IPL we will learn about a lot of international players. Even though there's only 4 per team that they can play, obviously they can roster more. He's the ex South African captain. All right. What do you think about David Warner and the Sunrisers? SRH has a pretty decent squad as well. Yeah, Yeah, no, SRH has a pretty decent squad as well. I think that SRH, they have a chance. Everybody has a chance, right? You can't really just, again, it's on paper. Doesn't mean what are they going to do uh, for real when you show up, We've seen in ODI and in other test matches, think about this. On paper, right? Steve Smith is the best batsman that Australia has. He hasn't performed that way. You know what I mean? He got out on, oh, his full name is Francois Duplessis. Well, I could say that. Why don't they just give me Francois? Everywhere you look, even on the team site, it says Faf Duplessis. All right, I could say Francois. I'll take it. Yeah, SRH's bowling could let them down, you know. I tell you what, to me, and I'm not, and I know there's fans all around. I'm not trying to be disparaging of any team. The weakest team I think, or the team that has the biggest holes for me on paper, is the Kings 11 Punjab, because ugh, they've got some holes there, man. They've got some holes. Yeah, they have Gale. I mean, I did that overview. Gale, which I got not crushed, but people were like, but I'm just listening to the experts, right? So I'm doing my research, and Gale's 40, man. He's 40 years old. So they're like, listen, he hasn't played cricket in over a year because of COVID, hasn't played competitive cricket. Who knows? Perun, yeah, he's they call him young Chris Gale. They do got Glenn Maxwell on there, but they're lacking some quality spinners. And I would say that batting order is not as deep as KKR or as deep as RCB. You know what I mean? KK Kings will be ahead of RCB on the table. Well, that's something Nick and I were talking about. Somebody, that's why you can't tell on paper, right? How has RCB not won? I don't. I how have they not won more? They are so deep. They've got so many great players. It's you know what I mean? That's why on paper it just you could put the best team together on paper, but it's got to gel right, right? It's got to gel right. On top of gelling right, man, he earned that run. Ooh, I think that went off of Bairstow's chest. Johnny Bairstow, man. The two wicket keepers there. Butler for the test squad. Bairstow for the it went off his face. I thought it went off his chest. Really earned that run. What's the score? My apologies. I'm over here chatting it up with you guys. I'm going to say it's 93 for 3. 93 for 3. And Bairstow already a half century. He's at 57. 57. Just earned we're in the 18th over. He just earned a tough run off this face. Hit his mask and went all the way for a boundary. But we are super excited for IPL. Gave RCB lost in the last over. They had 20 runs. And sorry, yeah, it's just insane. No, Butler is wicket keeper in all three formats. Is he? All right, here goes Zampa. What a catch! What a catch! Oh man, I'm gonna have to get me a I Heart Zampa T-shirt. Dismisses Butler before Butler gets settled in, which is important, man, because Butler can rake. Oh man, he is disgusting. He is disgusting. Finch is a great fielder. That was a great catch by Finchy. Let me update that score. Zampa's so good. I mean, again, that's why one performance, and here's something that happened with my own son. From personal experience, I know this, okay? You know, at least here in America, what did I do there? 48th over. Where did it go? Oh, here it goes. At least here in America, right? One of the things that happens, 96 for 4, is that your kids get scouted. And by saying get scouted means it's 96 for 4. During the season, you know, normally their junior year, like this year for Trey, which is why it's so brutal, you know, at times during the senior year, but they really want to see him junior year. There we go. Your kids will get scouted, and a scout will come and sit in one game, and we put so much pressure on our kids because we know the coach will tell you, hey, you know, so and so from whatever school is coming to see him, right? And it doesn't matter what you've done all season. That one game, the scout gets an impression of who you are, what you do, you know, how you'll fit on that team. Whether it's pro, sometimes it's for pro, sometimes it's for college. And one game is not the end all be all, you know. Even as fans, we make those mistakes sometimes. You know, we can't determine a player on one game, but it's so much pressure on kids. And honestly, I think I messed it up for my oldest son, J-Man. He's in West Virginia. It's a D2 school, still a good school, but he can perform. And he could have gone to a D1 school. He played center field in college. I mean, in high school, because he was super fast as a baseball player. And, you know, he had actually 3 scouts go look at him. And, dude, maybe I put too much pressure on him. I mean, it's still probably my biggest regret. I think I'll do it differently with Trey. Because, I mean, we were in the batting cages till, you know, midnight, till they closed, right? You know what I'm saying? I was hitting him fly balls. We would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to the field. I hit him fly balls, you know, to get him ready for the game. And I just think I psyched him out, man, you know? And Division 1, Division 2 school, Mintum. Division 1, Division 2 school. So Division 1, that's the big schools that everybody knows around the world, the you know, the UNLVs of the world, the you know, take your pick, LSU, Stanford, all the big name schools. That's Division 1. Division 2 are smaller schools. Best wicket keeping batsman. That is so tough. Your story reminds emotional Dongo. You know what? I love Dongo, guys. That's probably, and I think when we talked about films, I rated it maybe my favorite Indian film, 1 or 2. It has to be that or my three, the 3 Idiots, and both again Amir Khan films. But Dongo, as a parent, man, is so tough, and I think the kid couldn't perform. You know, J-Man, I don't think got a hit that entire tournament, maybe 1 hit, and you could just see the pressure on his face, and made some miscues in the outfield. And, you know, every time after the game, you know, I'm explaining to him how important it is he performs and how you know, he's blowing it. He's worked his whole life for this, and you know, you're better than this, kid. You're letting yourself down. And oh man, that was a bad review. Come on, it was a clear edge. Come on, how does Carrie not tell him that? Oh man, yeah, fire Carrie. That was a horrible review. I agree, wasted review, Boomer. Holy cow. World's best cricket league. Super excited. I'm super excited for him, man. I want to see some great play, and I'm excited to see, some names that we've heard of. So we'll see, man. To go back and answer about the best wicket keeping batsman, there it is again. I obviously MS Dhoni, but I haven't actually seen him play live. Um, to be honest, from the guys I've seen play live, it's tough, man, because I feel like most of them are deficient defensively. You know what I mean? From Bairstow, sorry, from Bairstow and Butler, they both defensively, they're not that great as far as wicket keeping is concerned. Um, Dorwich, right, for my West Indies squad. I mean, that's the thing. The wicket keeping position is so tough, and you've got to be good with the stick, but you've got to be able to stop those balls, man. I mean, and team after team, I don't care if it's Ireland, I don't care if it's again my West Indies, Pakistan. Take your pick. They all seem to struggle back there, and maybe it's England and these really tough pitches, but I've seen way too many pass balls that go for fours because the wicket keeper can't keep it in front of them. Even worse, I've seen drop wickets back there. You know what I mean? Where, come on, I could get it if it's third man or slip, drop in the ball, but you're the wicket keeper. You've got gloves. How do you drop it? You know what I mean? Like, remind me who has really played fabulous or flawless wicket keeping of all these live streams when we've been here together. I'll wait. Probably for like another hour and a half. Probably like another hour and a half. About 8 o'clock my time. I was hoping to at least get through the first, possibly. Right now we're at the 20th over, right? Fourth ball of the 20th over. Dorwich, man, Dorwich, and he could rake. Dorwich could rake, right? He can hit too. Seen him put up some great numbers, and I also seen him take a ball off the face. Your job is wicket keeping, man. And he took his whole lip. His whole thing was, he had a teren right on his lip, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough. It is wicket keeping. Oh man, I have not seen good wicket keeping. Bottom line, in all the cricket I've watched, whether it's ODI, whether it was T20, I have not seen great wicket keeping. Maybe it's just that hard of a position. Who said Butler's been flawless? Wicket keeping? Butler can hit, but let me tell you something. I've seen Butler drop many wickets. They talked about dropping him off the test team. At one point, it might have been in the series versus the West Indies. They were talking about maybe Johnny Bairstow should be the wicket keeper, and then right after that, we saw Bairstow play in an ODI versus versus Ireland, I think it was, and Bairstow was raking, and I'm like, oh yeah, Bairstow can rake, because at the time Butler was actually struggling a little bit with the stick, and he's dropping wickets back there. I mean, none of them have played flawlessly as far as wicket keepers are concerned. Gilchrist, okay. Rizwan. All right, we'll see. We'll see. Did you see Rizwan, wicketkeeper from Pakistan? Amazing. Rizwan was actually good. He was good, but he then wasn't as good as a hitter as the other guys, right? He's no Bairstow. He's no Butler. You know what I'm saying? I guess maybe you're just either an offensive wicketkeeper or a defensive wicketkeeper. And if that's the case, I'll take a defensive wicketkeeper because I rather save runs than give them away. You know what I mean? You got a bad wicketkeeper, man. It could spell doom and gloom. Let other people hit. What do you guys tell me in the chat? Do you think wicketkeeping should be a defensive or a fielding position first, or I don't care as long as he can hit? There we go. Nice boundary. Woo. See what I'm saying? Bairstow's got 64. This kid could rake, man. This kid can rake. Butler can rake too. Did I watch the Crick Buzz, Nick? Yeah. We weren't aware of Crick Buzz honestly until we started doing the overviews, and somebody said, "Hey, man, go to Crick Buzz. You can get some good information there." And we wanted to definitely, especially with my Delhi Capitals debacle, make sure we get pronunciations as close to being right as possible. Get some more interesting information for you guys. Just try to compile as much as we can from ESPN Cricket Info, Crick Buzz. Obviously, whatever we can find on YouTube, whatever we can find on Wikipedia, and just combine it all together. There we go. Their primary job is to keep, right? I gotta agree with you there, Sanyan. You know what I mean? And you just don't see that. You don't see that. The majority of the wicket keepers so far that we've seen, Rizwan was a really good defensive keeper. I'll give you that. But the most we've seen so far is England, and every one of their keepers are offensive guys first, from Butler to Bairstow. There was one other guy that kept for them. I can't remember his name. Carey doesn't look like a good offensive or defensive wicketkeeper. He's just okay, middly. He hasn't shown me anything. Who else? Dorwich. I can't remember the guy from Ireland, but he was just okay. I guess the problem is too, the very first player we got introduced to, well, as cricket fans, was MS Dhoni, right? And we probably hold every keeper to that bar, and that ain't happening, cousin. You know what I'm saying? We want you to be an offensive force, but we also want you to be a magician behind those wickets. So we probably holding it to what do you call it? To the standard too high. Oh man, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. We'd appreciate it. 1K views would be awesome. Oh, Glenn Maxwell coming in. Glenn Maxwell. Man. The man, the myth, the legend, the finisher. We got to say we are stoked to watch him play. It's sad that he retired from the international game, so we'll never see him play tests, since that's our favorite format, both mine and Nick's. But we'll take what we can get, and we can get him in T20. That's what we're gonna do. We could get him in the shorter format. That'll work. When you watch a legend play, it's not like videos don't do it justice. You know what I'm saying? You got to see it live so that you can see what the moment means. And I'll give you an example. Trey was really young when Kobe was dominating with the Lakers. He loves Kobe, and he watched Kobe play And my other kids have grown up here on the West Coast. I'm not one of those dads that says I'm a Knicks fan, so you got to be a Knicks fan. I let them make up their mind. And um, Trey and Aiden are Kobe fans. The thing is, Aiden is nice ball there too. Aiden is almost 6 years younger than Trey, and he was too young. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really remember watching Kobe play. So when Kobe died, man, Trey was crying. Anybody that was a Laker fan really felt that. Like, man, this guy was a legend. He was a great. Where if you're just a fan of the team and you never necessarily got to watch him play, you'll never understand that greatness. You know what I mean? And that's really, what it is in a nutshell. So that's what I'm saying. We're glad that we can watch Donnie play, because we'll actually get to see the legend play and we'll get to see him on there. But watching videos and watching old highlight clips, that could never really, explain what a guy like Shane Warren meant to the world of cricket, what he meant to his team. A guy like, and of course I go to the bowlers first, right? Shane Warren. But even like Tedalker, you know what I'm saying? It's always sad when you never. This generation right now drives me crazy, because this generation does not understand who Michael Jordan was. I'm a Knicks fan. I hated Jordan with a passion. I cannot stand him. I told him so myself. I was driving him when I was working at the MGM as a limo driver, him and Charles Barkley, to a golf course. I'll never forget. Golf course out here in Vegas called Shadow Creek. They're both huge gamblers. And I said, Mr. Jordan, you're one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and I respect your game. But I got to tell you, as a kid growing up, I hated your guts. Charles Barkley cracks up laughing. And he said, let me guess, you from New York, aren't you? And I'm like, really? He said, listen, only people from New York or Detroit hate Mike that much. And I'm saying, like this generation right now thinks, what's the kid's name with the from he puts up gaudy offensive numbers, but again, never wins anything. From the Rockets, just lost again. Man, I'm telling you, these names just kill me sometimes. I always forget. James Harden. I've got kids telling me James Harden is better than Jordan. James Harden, are you serious? If you say Kobe, okay, they're both champions. They both meant a lot to the game. Maybe. LeBron, if he wins another championship with the Lakers, you can put him up there in the Jordan conversation. But James Harden, better than Jordan? Really? Come on. That's just being disrespectful to the history of the game. And again, it's because it's recency bias, right? They have not seen these guys play live. They don't know what kind of players they were. Start back in. Let me know if it's like that too in cricket, where there's guys that let's say they'll say, oh, Virat Kohli is better than Sachin. You know what I mean? And you're like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, that's madness, man. You must catch Johnny Rhodes took this week training session. His 51. Johnny Rhodes, king of the. Oh, wow. Big shot right there. Wow. Here's a question. England fans, you're in here. Who's better, Burstow or Butler? I guarantee you some of the young kids in their mind, because it's recency bias, or excuse me, maybe the Indian sports fans are a lot more knowledgeable. They raise their kids understanding the history of the game. But at least here in America, I hear it all the time. Oh man, a guy like James Harden, because he can drop triple doubles like it's nothing, and he scores, but doesn't play any defense and has never won anything. James Harden is better than Jordan. What? Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? And I've had so many arguments with younger kids, students of mine. You know what I mean? It drives me crazy. So you guys are thinking Butler easily. Okay. I'm only asking because Bairstow can rake too, man. And both of them, to me, are deficient behind the wickets. You know what I'm saying? They're not good defensive wicket keepers. So they can both score, man. I mean, right now, look at this innings that Burstow's at 74. Oof. And I feel like routinely, every time I watch England, whether it's Bairstow or Butler, they put up huge scores for the most part. They put up huge scores. These guys can absolutely rake. There's got to be something to the English batting attack too. Whatever the batting coaches they have, if I was, Australia, I'd be trying to steal an Indian batting not Indian, English batting coach, because their dudes rake, man. Stokes, come on, Wokes. They've got a very aggressive style. You do notice that, where more often than not, they're swinging that bat. More often than not, they're swinging that bat. You don't really see them play that defensive game like you saw Carey play, especially unless it's test, you know what I mean? But especially in ODI, you don't see that. They're going out, they're looking for their ball to hit, defending what they need to, but they're always taking those shots. England 5 years back were bad batting. Well, I mean now maybe England stole a batting coach from, I don't know, India or somebody, because at least this season, these guys all rake, all of them. Renee, what's going on? Good morning, love. Wait, today is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Woo! IPL is coming up, a few days away. Woo! So excited. What's up, Alex? Abdullah, what's going on? Don Antonio. No, we have not seen West Indies play T20 yet. I'm excited to see that. Sup says, and thank you for the super chat, Sup. He says Australia were the pioneers of aggressive batting. Interesting. Rubber match, guys, is the third match in a series when you win the first game, I win the second game. We play the third game to determine who won that series. That's called the rubber match. It's really more of a boxing term where I win the first fight, you win the rematch. So then the third one is called the rubber match. Arrow, man, those don't get me in trouble, man. Your mom's gonna block us when I send me for the board of science class. You're out of control, kid. I appreciate it, Arrow, but man, get to class. You're good. You're good, brother. I'm gonna be streaming this whole weekend IPL so we can hang out there in the chat. Oh man, Arrow is crazy. I will say, right, as a teacher, I know you could see kids' faces lethargic, right? And I was talking to my peers just in our meeting this week, like, listen, guys, we gotta change it up. These kids are sitting in front of a computer. We gotta have fun. So I don't care if every 20, 30 minutes, especially I teach elementary school. We got to get up, stretch, you know what I mean? Do a brain break, you know, play it like a round robin, do something to keep them engaged. But some people will remain nameless, not Nick. Nick's actually a very good educator as well. But literally sit up there, and if it's 45 minutes, right? It's a 45-minute session before they get a break. They will be lecturing for 45 minutes. Really? You think kids will listen to you for 45 minutes? Come on, man. You got to be kidding me. Han, I learn new things every day. Rubber match comes from the 16th century English lawn bowling. Such an exciting game. Interesting. Interesting. That means nothing. Match that means nothing. No, this match means something. Let me tell you how important this match is. England has yet to lose a series this year in any format. And they came close again, once again, and T20 and against Australia. You know, I would argue it was Zampa, but you've all explained to me he should not have been put in that position. So really, it was Finchy, because Australia was well in position to win that game, but Australia has been the closest one to winning a series against England. You know, whether it was Pakistan, you know, my West Indies, who won that very first test match, but then lost the next two test matches against England. England's been dominant this year. So, yes, this is a very big game. So that's what I meant by rubber match. What's up? What's up, team? $2.1 million US dollar. That's a big buy. That is a big buy. And, you know, it's funny because I was like looking at the IPL and the kind of money IPL makes, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that's not that much money, right? $2 million for an athlete. But then you're like, wait, $2 million for 16 games? Oh, wow. Now, explain that to me too. I'm not sure how contracts work in cricket versus other sports, but is that just for the regular season? Because like you get paid bonuses if you make it to the playoffs in baseball and in basketball. Pretty sure football as well. So do they get like, oh, you know, $2 million base salary, but if we get to you know, the playoffs, then you make an additional whatever, you know, 100 grand, 200 grand, whatever it is. There we go, Han. Rubber match means a decider. Exactly. Big game. I can't wait to see West Indies in T20 as well. They should rake, and they should actually be really good, because watching the CPL and even watching IPL, how many West Indian players are there, you know, we should have on that team Gale, right? We should have Andre Russell. We should have Pollard. We should have Narain. We should have who else? Did somebody say Cornwall plays for the T20 team? I think he does as well. I mean, they should be stacked. They should be stacked. Okay, yes, 3 teams get extra money. West Indies is a team of rakers. They don't ever run single. Oh man, that's funny. Good, so they do get paid. Yeah, Bravo. They got Bravo, DJ Bravo. Both of them play on there, right? The Bravo brothers. I love me some DJ Bravo. He's a champion. You know, a little Simmons. It's just stack. Lindell Simmons. That's what I'm saying. Like, oof. I can't wait to see him play T20. I'm excited for that. Campbell and Carey. What are you doing? Sibley Satner on it. You- oh man, you know what's funny, right? So Nick and I were talking about this, and I'm like still waiting on him, and I'm like, bro, whatever you want to do is all good. Make your decision. I'll choose after you. And when Nicholas put on, right, they call him baby, or not baby, but young Chris Gale. So I'm excited to see our T20 team, my West Indies. But as I'm looking at T20, IPL teams, and this is really petty of me. It is. But I saw Satner's name on a team, and I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't seen Carey's name on a team or Campbell actually. Maybe they were on Nick's list and I missed it. But I was just like, Hitmeyer's on that team too. Hitmeyer. Oh my gosh, they're stacked. I forgot about Hitmeyer. They're stacked. Oh my gosh. Nareen ranking in top. Not working world T20 16. Yeah, Nareen's nasty. I like him as a bowler for sure. Are we streaming the first match? Absolutely. It's Saturday morning. I'll be up at 6, even though the game starts at 7, so that I'm not 1 minute late. Nick and I are super excited for it. And, it's a big game too, right? Mumbai versus CSK. So get a chance to watch the legend. It'll actually be the first time we get to see Virat Kohli play live as well. And I mean, RCB's lineup is stacked. Oh my God. No. It's not RCB. It's Mumbai Indians, right? It's not RCB. It's CSK versus Mumbai Indians. Correction. I thought it was versus RCB. Big game. Did he get him? No out. Look at Cummings' face. Like, come on, really? Really? What do you guys think? He's going to challenge? No? I mean, we already wasted a really bad challenge earlier, so you can't do that. Our pace bowling is the issue right now. Got it. Do I think Stuart Broad will have a run in IPL? I think he can. I think he's got the skills for it. I definitely think he's got the skills for it. So, Manal, I think we're going to be dropping that video on Friday when we make our decision. We're talking about our recording schedule right now, but we'll see. No, I got school coming up real soon, Renelle. I just wanted to come up. Yeah. Pollard is on Mumbai Indians. Stuart Broad is a test bowler only. I disagree there. He may only play tests, but he's got skills. If he wanted to, he could play IPL. He could. He's got enough swing on his ball where he could play IPL, guaranteed. It's just if he wants to do it or not. He can't pitch Yorkers. Just a length bowler. We got Russell Cave. Let's go. I mean, dude, there's good teams all around, man. There's like I said, as we've been doing the research, really for the most part, a lot of the teams are balanced. So it should be a competitive season. Every team has, a couple great players on there as far as superstars are concerned. Delhi Capitals are really balanced. RCB, in my opinion, probably RCB and KKR might win the whole thing. They've got some really good teams, but again, CSK's got a legend on there in Dhoni. and they've got the number one wicket taker in the CPL, right? Bravo's on there, and I mean, come on, Mumbai Indians. They've got Pollard. They've got tons of guys over there. So it's going to be really fun. It's going to be really fun. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I'm going to have to go again. He loves CSK. That's so funny. Oh yeah, Tahir. Tahir is CSK, right? Tahir is a CSK. I mean, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be some brand names playing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's got to be a lot of fun. There we go. Reverse sweep. I hate that shot. It's so dangerous. But when it works and it negates the spinner. I get it, but it's so dangerous. I saw in the comments earlier somebody mentioned Dhoni's helicopter shot, and we talked about innovative shots. The uppercut in that one video. You see guys, but the two shots you see them use. Never seen anybody use the helicopter shot thus far play live, but you see that all the time. The reverse sweep, there it is again. Right? Reverse sweep. And you see the uppercut when that ball comes in almost at their head. They just use the bat to kind of like guide it back behind them. Bravo's the number one all-time T20 wicket taker. Oh, I thought it was just CPL. That's all-time T20 wicket taker. Look at that. Oh, my God. Scoop shot. Jeez. Come on, Kerry. That's what I'm saying, man. Some poor wicket keeping this entire tournament, man. Oh, thank you, Renell. I'm like talking to you guys, engaged watching the game. I keep forgetting. This is why I need Nick here. I keep forgetting to update the scores. Just remind me in the chat, guys. Appreciate it. 145 for 4. And I feel a wicket coming up. Almost. 145 for 4. Can you guys believe this game was started off 0 for 2? I caught it when I woke up and I'm starting to get dressed, and look, it was 5 for 2. This thing was actually 0 for 2. What happened? I mean, for the love of Pete, we're through 28 overs now. I mean, come on. A.B. de Villiers and Francois, they play all types of innovative shots. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see some of those innovative shots. I think they're dangerous, some of them, but it's gonna be fun to see some of those shots. Is there any regulation? And we should have asked this in the video. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. To what type of shot you can play. I know, like for instance, in bowling, you have to come. Your elbow can't be bent like in baseball. It's got to be straight. You know what I'm saying? What kind of is there any kind of restriction to a shot, or as long as you get the bat on the ball, it doesn't matter? That's a good question. Dhoni is richer than the team owner. Don't bunks the school game. What time? No, 7 o'clock. I'm good. I got an hour. Man, that's almost on the way. Shots are dangerous game. It's high risk, high reward. You know what? Boom, you're right. You're right. And I'm just, I guess too, that tells you the kind of player I was and the way I coached. I always like to coach fundamentals. You know what I mean? I always told my kids, which is maybe a bad thing, really, but don't you don't necessarily have to win the game for me, but you can't lose it. You can't lose it, kid. You know what I mean? And that's what I would always say. You know, your teammates don't want you to go out there and single-handedly win it for you, for us guys, but they don't want you to lose it either. Make the routine play. You don't have to be Derek Jeter. Don't give me the dive in the shortstop hole, throwing the guy out at first base from one knee. I don't need that, but I need you to be a vacuum cleaner and scoop up every single routine ground ball that's hit to you. And that was just always my mentality. You know what I mean? Like, but I guess you're right. You need those innovators, because without people pushing themselves to do things further, than, you know, everybody would be kind of like on an even playing field. But that's just not the way I coach, man. Because when you got to ask somebody to do something special, something that's not, you know, generally, there we go, get the kitty. Did it bounce on the floor? Probably, because he didn't even go for that. Must have hit the floor first. CSK has reached the finals 9 times in 11 IPL seasons that they have played. Yeah, did the CSK is mine. One of the things I'll be mentioning on my review of CSK is that they're the only team that's been in the postseason every single year. They haven't missed it not one time, which is crazy. At least according to the information I got. Jeez. RCB versus GL in 2016, where Ra and AB de Villiers had a partnership of 229. Their second plus partnership, T20. I can give you the video details. I will not be able to react to it today because I'm going to class in an hour. But send it to us in our boring reviews, or even Cricket for America's email, and I will definitely try and check it out. Pollard's not even the main guy in Mumbai. Think about that. That's funny. Now, Mira, excuse me, says, except when they got banned, talking about CSK. So I've tried to do research on this. They got banned for 2 years, I believe it was, and it was because the owner was gambling on the games. Now, gambling's illegal in India, but the players weren't throwing the games, right? It was just he was gambling on it, and that's why they got banned. Oh, but now you're out of control. Do you need a West Indies flag? Do your wife approve to get one? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be getting me one. The owner's son-in-law was gambling. Not the owner's son-in-law. All right. So what does that have to do with the players? I don't understand. Like, why would you ban the players if it wasn't the players that were gambling? It was the owner's son-in-law. Like, I don't know. There was another scandal we were looking at, and I didn't understand that one. We reported on it though, where it was. Ooh, was it? It wasn't the Delhi Capitals. Wasn't KKR? Was it Kings XL? I think it was Kings. Yeah, not XL. Sorry, XI. So Kings XI or Kings 11 Punjab. They got banned for some type of for a few years. Them and maybe it was Kolkata. I can't remember the other team. They got banned because the owner got caught up in some type of malfeasance, or some kind of financial scandal. Again, I'm like, unless it has something that directly impacts the game, why do I care? You know what I'm saying? Rajasthan Royals, was it? It's the Royals. Like, why does that matter? Whom you support in the first IPL match? You know what? Nick and I should do that too. Try to take win, especially in all the games we're gonna watch, whether it's our team or not. Just kind of like we do here, where I'm a West Indies fan, but I always like rooting against Nick. He took England early on, so I've been rooting against him. First game is what? CSK versus Mumbai. CSK versus Mumbai. That's a tough one. I gotta wait till Nick's Mumbai review because I haven't done the research on Mumbai yet. Nick is doing Mumbai. I'm doing CSK. CSK's bowling looks good. I will tell you, man, I am so concerned about Rain not being there. Who's gonna be the who's gonna fill those shoes, man? So we'll see, man. We'll see. The players were moved to different franchises. They didn't get banned. I see what you're saying, but like the teams, like I'm saying, that the actual teams that they were on this team, punish the owner, ban him, suspend him, not the team. CSK equals yellow love or the Yellow Army, as they've become affectionately known. Only CSK and Royals got banned. Gotcha. Who's your favorite team in IPL? We have not chose yet, but I'm pretty. I'm more than likely. It just depends which way Nick goes. I'm gonna pick one of two teams. I got a third team in mind that I'm really liking after I did the review. So I may be swayed that way. It just depends, man. It just depends. A lot of players. Does anybody know why Garney pulled out from KKR, by the way? Because all I got was, he pulled out, and Ali Khan is the first American to play in the IPL, which we're super excited for. I think that'll put some more eyes on cricket and IPL here in America. It's huge. Even Sports Center talked about it, the American Sports Center, you know what I mean? So that tells you it's a huge deal. And that's what you need, exposure to the game. You know what I'm saying? American Ali Khan playing in the IPL, first American to do so. So, Gurney was a shoulder injury. Okay. Well, because we had a lot of guys pull out in CPL as well, which kind of hurt other teams. And that's one of the reasons that the teams were so unbalanced. And my TKR Knight Riders, right? Trimbago Knight Riders won the whole thing, went undefeated. But yeah, I've seen a lot of teams who've lost players, and Reina was a tragedy in his family, if I'm not mistaken, right? Not really COVID related, even though that's another thing to worry about CSK. A player came down with COVID, man. No. Did I say DJ Bravo was on KKR? No. DJ Bravo is on CSK. My bad. Gurney was not important. Okay. Alex Hales and Harry Gurney also played was Trident. Big blow for the Tridents. That was a big blow for the Tridents. Man, I love Hazelwood too. I mean, oh, Australia's bowling attack, man, is so fierce. And even on a day like today when they're not playing the best, they can just throw so many games at you. I mean, throw so many arms at you. This pitch is playing a lot better today, a lot faster. Not another little dot ball there. Stark with a quick 2 wickets, 30 runs and 5 overs. Hazelwood, 37 and almost 7 overs. Cummins, 7 overs already in the books, 31 runs. I mean, man. Mitchell Marsh only bowled 2 overs. He's got 4. All right, nice little single there. Listen, I agree. That's one of my biggest concerns with CSK, man. That is one of my biggest concerns about CSK. No Reina. You know what? Nick and I actually discussed doing that. Arian, it would just be one of those situations where we got to try and set up a draft and set up a time where we could do it. But yeah, that would definitely be fun. We talked about doing it, honestly, when somebody in the last broadcast, maybe was it, talked about your favorite 11 players. If you were putting together a team, you're right, your dream 11, who would you put? And it was such an interesting such an interesting dynamic, right? Where I'm like, oh, I love bowling. And I think I put in 5 or 6 batsmen before I even put in a bowler. And I'm like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? But it was such an interesting exercise. And we play fantasy sports. I play fantasy baseball, fantasy football. I mean, so I'm actually in the playoffs in both my fantasy baseball leagues, 1 and 3 respectively. Humble brag. I make it happen. We actually have in my family a belt. We have a fantasy football belt. The day that I was streaming last, which was Sunday, that's why another reason everybody was over here, because my wife is the commissioner of our league, and every opening day we come and do the trophy presentation. Well, we don't have a trophy. We have a WWE style belt, fantasy football belt. Maybe I'll have Nick put it as the what do you call it? The thumbnail here. And that belt, man, is what we play for, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. Scoring matches. In the UAE, there will be low scoring matches because of the slow pitches. So spinners will be the match winners, and teams, good spinners, will have a good chance. That's that's another thing boding well for Punjab. Maxwell, for whatever reason, plays really well in the UAE, really well. And apparently the last time that tournament was played in the UAE, Punjab did really well as well. And I want to say they made it to the finals. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, that's a big, big deal. What's up, Kathleen? What's going on? Burso, 4th highest opener where batsmen have been out for Ducks. Really? Bairstow, 4th highest opener where 2 batsmen were out for Ducks. Interesting. I mean, he's inconsistent. Somebody told me earlier. I posed a question, though, because I've seen Bairstow put up magnificent innings, man. And I said, who's better, him or Butler? Because both of them, struggle catching. And everyone, it's Punjab. Okay, Punjab. Got it. Thank you. Punjab. Everybody was telling me that Butler, for the most part, is better. CSK is Meryl Streep of the IPL. Oh, Benson is playing for Uh I want to say Bantam is playing for the Knight Riders. Is it Knight Riders or no? It's either Knight Riders or the Kings 11. Punjab, KKR, right? It is the Knight Riders. All right, it is KKR. Okay, I knew it was one of the ones I just recently did. Have we finished watching part 2 of the 1983 documentary? No, we have not. No, we have not. So is it pan, like a frying pan, Punjab, or Punjab? Pun like no pun intended. Okay, Punjab. There you go, Punjab. Like no pun intended. Got it. SRH has a huge advantage in UAE this season because they have good spinners combination. Nabi and Rashid Khan. Interesting. And you know what? You know what, guys? That's I didn't take that into consideration. We've seen with England how much home field advantage matters because of your bowling attack. And the UAE, everybody says scoring is a lot lower in the UAE, 140, 150. Are scores that we can expect, so 170, 180, it would be on the high side. Interesting. I did not think about that. First American. uh Pun- Punjab. Got it. Appreciate that, guys. What do you let me know right now in the chat? Biases aside, and I know everybody's gonna pick their team, but like, okay, I'm a Yankees fan, right? Yankees aren't gonna win the World Series this year. I wish they were. I really do. But the Yankees have too many holes as far as guys that are hurt. Even though we put up 20 runs yesterday, we only have two legitimate pitchers. Okay. And in the playoffs, you need 3, 4 pitchers, starting pitchers. If not, you run out of pitching. Now, anybody can be wrong, but right now, our number 2 pitcher is hurt. He's not coming back this year. Our number 3 pitcher, James Paxton, is hurt. He may make it back in the playoffs. So really, we've got our number 1 in Garrett Cole and our number 4 in Tanaka. That ain't going to get it done, people. You know what I'm saying? I think Nick's team and the Dodgers have the best chance. Padres and the Dodgers have the best chance to win the World Series. So in the chat, regardless who your team is right now, let me know who's going to win this year. Who do you guys think? Is it RCB? Is it RCB, Delhi Capitals with that balanced attack? Yeah, Yankees get to the wild card no further. I agree. CSK or MI forever. Lobashank, how dare you? Blasphemer. Have you seen the Astros? They're not even above 500. Astros can't hit now that they can't bang on trash cans. I'm sorry, I don't know what pitch is coming. Now you're at the same disadvantage everybody else is. Oh, what a shot. Go find that ball. That hit somebody's car. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Did you guys just see that shot? Let me update the score. 168 for 4. Oh, Stark. Go sign that one. Billings wants you to go get it and sign it. Can you autograph this for me, please? Oh, what a shot. Wow. That was impressive right there. They can't even find the ball. Look at that. They got to come out and get another ball. The 33rd over right now. It's 168 for 4. 168 for 4. Guys, is this thing going to like 250? I'm feeling 250 easy. That's my prediction. What do you guys think? 250, unless England has a epic batting collapse. I mean, last game they had a batting collapse and still put up, what was it, 230? Somebody said 350. No way. 280 minimum. 300 plus, 265. Yeah, maybe 250. I'm on the low side, so maybe 265. It's got to be sub 300. It's got to be. If they let it get to 300, man, pack it up, man. Oof. 300 plus easy. Okay. 270 to 300. Renell says 280, 290. Mental. Oh, yeah. Nick and I will be streaming the first match of the IPL. First match of the IPL. We're super excited for it. Super excited for it. Ifran, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. You guys are superstars. Thanks for hanging in out with me and putting up with my diatribes. There we go. There's a wicket. Oh no. I got caught by the review. It happens. It happens. I got reviewed. First match Mumbai all the way. Well, IPI have those virtual cheerleaders. I know. I got replayed. I hate when that happens. Yeah, looking forward to RCB winning its first game. But our audience, first session would go. I prefer franchise T20 cricket, IPL, CPL, Big Bash, or international test. Test. I prefer test, man. I love test cricket. I love test cricket. I love the format. You know what I mean? Like you can withstand having a bad inning, right, and still come back and win that match. You know, okay, you got me. You punch me in the mouth, but I don't have to just one slip up, one bad, and that cost me an entire a game. Wherein ODI, for instance, the other day, Australia and I just have to stay with that bad test in their mouth. You know what I mean? I'm done. I'm done. And that was just a brutal for me. That was a brutal loss the other day by Australia. It was brutal. I felt it, and I'm not a die-hard Australia fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm just rooting for them in the series. I can only imagine how the Australian diehard fans took it. Like, oh, this is. I'm sure they were calling for somebody's job. They should have been anyway. Fire Carey. Listen, I was rough on him. I'm not gonna lie. I was rough on him. You know, yeah. Burstow's up to the quiet 90s. Now here's the thing. I know you guys call it nervous 90s, but it's a quiet 90 because you don't even like. Wow, really? He's in the 90s already. Great, a no ball there. Burstow does this all the time. This guy can rake now. To somebody's point earlier, he's very inconsistent because he'll also get out on a duck. But man, Johnny Burstow, interesting player. And I think that's the toughest thing, man. MS Dhoni is the Keanu Reeves of India. The man's a national treasure. That's a boundary. Oh, wow. There was somebody there. Okay. Stonus. Yeah, he kind of missed that free hit. I thought it was going to go for a boundary. Lots of people start at ODI and never appreciate test. Yeah, maybe because we also started with test, so it was our first experience of the game. But for me, test is the best of what baseball is, Major League Baseball, right? The playoffs. It's a long format. I can drop in innings or playoff baseball, drop a game. That's okay. You need to come and beat me over 5 days. Or in Major League Baseball, a 5-game series, which is the first round, or a 7-game series. And it's longer. It really means strategy goes into play. And, anybody could be the better man for a day. All right. Beat me in a 5-game series or a 5-day test match. And I mean, that's what I love about it. How do you kickstart Burstow? With oh, man. Listen, I'm excited to see. There's a couple things I'm excited to see right now. I'm excited to see IPL. That's number one. I cannot wait to see IPL. See some of these players that we've been told about. See Virat Kohli, see MS Dhoni. I'm excited for IPL. That's coming up. I'm also excited to see women's cricket. Right, I want to see how the women's game compares to it. Women's sports is becoming more prevalent here in America. Between the WNBA, which still isn't as popular as other sports, but we have a team here in Vegas. The Aces, which is what actually was our first professional sports team. Actually, the WNBA, and the women's soccer team, right? Our national soccer team, who dominates every World Cup or football team. Women's sports is becoming more prevalent here in America. So I definitely want to check out women's cricket, my West Indies squad, see them go rake. And I want to see England outside. I want to see how conditions do matter. I will say this, I have seen cricket in England and I've seen cricket in the Caribbean, even though it was T20 cricket, but the pitches matter. I do see that, man, because those pitches got deteriorated really fast in the Caribbean. They only played on 2 cricket grounds there, and I mean CPL and teams struggled to score 100, right? There were teams getting out at 55, 90s. It was, and it was happening routinely, especially towards the end. So I do understand how pitches matter. I want to see England play away from home, so to see if maybe they're as good as I think they are, or maybe it's just they've got a lot of home field advantage. So we'll see. Those are 3 things I'm definitely excited for. Oh, no question. Is that a 6? Did it hit the boundary? Let's see. And that's more of a scoop shot there. It is a... Oh, that's a 6. Wow. 6 on a scoop shot right there. Who, do I have anything else to do? I got school in 30 minutes. Do I understand, Renell? That's a great comment. In my opinion, it is the toughest captaincy in all professional sports. Whether you're talking about football, baseball, American football, hockey, it's almost too much responsibility being a captain in cricket. You know what I mean? Too much responsibility. And that's something else that, to me, I think that we'll see that this year with KL Rahul, right? Because he's the captain of his team in the IPL. However, he's also the wicket keeper, and in his mind, he's the opening batsman. They talk about pressure, and then on top of that, this guy now has to basically beat out Pant to be the wicketkeeper for the test team now that MS Dhoni is retired. So we'll see how that plays. I mean, I just think being a captain is so much responsibility. You've got to be concerned with bowling, right? Who are you going to put in? Who are you not going to bowl? Watching guys overs. Think about being a captain for a guy like Jofra Archer, where Jofra Archer is great early, but struggles later overs. So you've got to use him, sparingly. You got to know when to put him in. Same thing. I think some of the best captaincy I've seen thus far, ooh, that hurt, came from England in the last game. And I'll tell you why. England was all but out. They're done, right? Let's say you're done because of your cooked food. There's nobody that thought England was going to win that game. As we're watching it, they were getting chopped apart. And, Australia was hitting on all cylinders, was hitting. And Archer took some early wickets. Captain America there took some, not America, Captain England took some early wickets there. Wokes. And then, what do you do, right? What do you do at that point? Well, Owen Morgan, he bowled his guys. He didn't wait to the end. He said, I'm going to take my shot right now. We got to stop the bleeding. We got to break up this partnership. And he burned their overs. And they performed for him. They gave him 4 wickets and 21 balls, 21 deliveries, brought them back from the jaws of defeat, right? Dug them out of the grave. And eventually that move worked out. And I mean, captaincy is so... You're thinking about that, but you're thinking about your own no, I didn't say Jofra's not an excellent death bowler. He does not bowl well in long spells, meaning like in tests, for instance. I've noticed once he gets over 8, 9 overs, 10th overs, let's say, he starts, either his pace gets down and he starts getting hit hard. Look it up. And that's the thing. Jofra's an excellent death bowler, but Owen didn't wait for him for the death overs, right? He bowled them then and there. He knew he needed those guys. And to me, that was just an excellent captaincy decision right there. Vice versa, my own West Indies team, if I could be critical, a lot of people are saying that the only reason Shai Hope is still playing for the West Indies and wasn't dropped is because he's the captain, Jason Holder's best friend. Well, I mean, think about it. If you're Jason Holder, it's got to be hard to drop your best friend, but your job is to be the captain of the team first. It's the toughest job, I think, in all professional sports is captain of a cricket team? Billings now at 50. Holy cow. Now, wasn't he struggling? That's the thing. They've said he came in having a tough time. Sam Billings hasn't, I mean, oh my gosh. He did have 100, right? As they just mentioned this other day. You guys reminded me Billings had 100 the other day. But you don't even expect that out of this guy. That's what I'm saying. England has so many guys that can score for them. Jeez Louise. Is it fitness? It's umpiring, Gabe. I haven't yelled at an umpire in a long time, actually. That actually tells you there was good umpiring when I don't yell at them. It's been decent umpiring here. Shao Hope is a talent. Love him as a fan, but he needs to go back to domestic. He gets runs and gets back to forms. Ugh. Toughest job is umpiring. Well, I agree with that. Nobody likes umpires. I will say cricket fans are more cordial to umpires. Here in America, you won't even admit you're an umpire. You ask somebody what they do for a living and they don't give you a straight answer in America. That means they're an umpire, either at the professional level, collegiate level, even the high school level. What do you do? Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm in between jobs right now. Next thing you know, you turn on the television and they're reffing a game between UConn and the Orangemen. Like, wait a minute, that guy just ate at my restaurant. Jeez. Gabe is also a wicket keeper. He don't play in many games. Billings is also a wicket keeper. Interesting. Wow. So England fans that are in here, I'm going to update this right now. 196 for 4. That changed quickly. What changed? Somebody tell me. It ain't the water. What changed in England? Because people keep saying, oh, you should have seen them a few years ago. They couldn't hit. What changed? Who did they bring in? I mean, I don't know if you guys have that kind of knowledge. Did the philosophy change, or was it just, a new crop of players that are more talented? What changed? Zach Crowley hit 54 ball century for Kent. Owen Morgan, new coach or captain. Oh, what of this ODI team? Yeah. Owen Morgan is the captain. Most respected umpires out in rugby. They even call them sir. Yeah, Owen Morgan's an unbelievable captain. Let me tell you something. Owen Morgan won the white ball championship last year, right? It was England and New Zealand, right? And I mean, you can see he makes good decisions as a captain. So Owen Morgan's definitely a great captain. That's another reason why I like Kolkata Knight Riders, man. They're stacked with players. Owen Morgan's on that team. I mean, he's been the longest tenured Englishman in IPL. out of all the players. So I mean, he's got experience. It's so hard to choose. It is. But I will let Nick choose first, and then I will choose. England focused solely on white ball cricket in the last in 5 years leading up to 2019 World Cup. Okay. India has enough reserves, strength. Oh my God, another shot. Another six. Congratulations, Johnny Burstow. Guys, I know recency bias. I get it. But every series, Burstow does something positive. Every single series, guys. You guys cannot tell me this guy is not. I mean, I get it. Butler can rake too. But he scores almost effortlessly at times. Yes, he gets out on the duck from time to time. He's inconsistent, but Johnny Burstow, jeez. Oh, Johnny Burstow. 204 for 4. And another, oh my gosh, I can't even. 208 for 4, straight drive. Oh, Johnny Burstow. That was an expensive over for Cummins. Okay, I was wrong. We're looking at 300. Oh my gosh. India, see, actually beat England. You know what? That's another thing. Again, it's so hard because there's so much talent. But Nick and I were saying, man, because Nick put me on to Pant. I give him all. He's like, yo, this kid Pant can rake, and Pant can rake, and people are like, you're crazy. Our KL Rahul is way better. He can rake, and after doing some research, holy cow, KL Rahul can rake, and he might be the. I mean, India just has tons of talent too, man. It is so tough. It is so tough. Am I missing? There's like Vince from the ODI series. Oh man. You know Morgan was playing for Ireland. He's Irish, right? Yeah, he's an import. Morgan's an import for England. So is a couple of imports. I believe I know Archer's from the West Indies. There's another player also that's for out. There we go. That's why you don't reverse sweep. Billings gone. Stokes, yes, Stokes is also New Zealand, right? New Zealander. Nice wicket. Zampa. You know what? When we do our 3 wickets, I'm going to count up how many wickets Zampa has for this entire match, or this entire series, I should say, because I believe he got 4 in the first, maybe 3 or 4 in the second, already 3 today. Zampa, my gosh, he's a savage. 210 for 5, 210 for 5. I mean, gosh, it's still looking bad. And normally I would say, okay, they're through 5. So most batting lineups are 1 through 7, and the rest are just, tail enders. So you can survive it. Man, England's tail end is as good, if not, better than some other teams that I've seen. Ireland. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to my Ireland fans, but their tail end is as good as your middle of lineup. I'm sorry. It is. They got tail enders that could rake. Gosh. Jason Roy is from South Africa. Didn't know that. Pant is overrated. What's all the Pant hate, guys? What's all the Pant hate? No, because New Zealand was from England. Just like when France won the world, none of their players was French. That's funny. Chris Jordan from Barbados, but plays for England. Did not know that. Did not know that. Pat has the skills, but needs to mature. He's a young guy. Oh yeah. Oh well, we know that he's a young guy. Pat is rubbish. Wow, the Pat hate. Hey, you know what's funny? I mean, he's not my guy, but that's Nick's guy. Nick like put his flag on him, like, "Yo, this dude's gonna be the next wicket keeper for." That's why I hate the reverse sweep. This guy's gonna be the next wicket keeper for India, so Nick's gonna have to battle you guys on that. At Vincent, leave Campbell alone. Oh, I have not gone on a Campbell rant today, people. I have not gone on a Campbell rant today. I tell you what, Carrie might have great shot, man. I can't even talk and they keep scoring. My gosh. Another boundary. Pant doesn't value wicket and gets out cheaply because Indian matches, including the last World Cup. Thus, a lot of people are angry at him. Thanks, Boom. I appreciate that. And that's more of a young person's mentality, and not just a young person, but that's more of a T20 mentality where I'm just trying to rake, and you may not value your wicket as much. Where in Test specifically, right, you are valuing that wicket. You are valuing that wicket. But that's interesting. Work, you look amazing. When they don't, you look stupid. Yeah, Master Blaster, we talked about that earlier. It's risk and reward. I was just never a risky player. I always asked myself as a player, I was always, okay, baseball. You know, you ever seen a guy in a baseball game take a swing and they know it's gone? That's because they put that swing on that ball. I can tell you in my life, and my career was way shorter than Trey's. I never even played. We were cracking up about it the other day, looking at old school pictures when I was younger. My kids were making fun of me. They're like, "Dad, you had hair." Like, bro, you better watch your mouth. I had braids at one point. But anyways, I don't think like I was ever that guy that was willing to get myself out because I'm trying to score big. You know what I mean? That's just it's not in my DNA. It wasn't in my makeup. And because of it, though, you know, you don't stand out. Like I didn't make my varsity high school baseball team because I didn't hit enough home runs. I didn't have enough power. But that's because I kept my short really stroked because I hated striking out. I thought that was the worst thing you can do. So it's just, you know, it's I think that there's a place for risk, but this is never the way I've coached. Not a risk taker. Oh, wow. Man, you guys are killing Pant like I killed Campbell. Thanks, Aiden. Hey, do me a favor, make sure mom's up. Wow. They only need 8 runs and over to get up to 300. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Yeah, Master Blaster, you're right about that. You're right about that. Why is no one talking about Sanju Samson? I think he's better suited to replace Dhoni.
Mom told me to tell you that she's been annoying because of you. You were always talking.
Is that what she said?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Make sure Alex up. Go get him. Good. Okay, I would not do that, Minta. What are you doing to me? Defend all the balls on the 20th over in the T20 match. That's what Kerry did the other day, man. Oh, could you imagine? Like, what are you doing? You need to score. Oh, that's funny. Defending all the T20. That's funny. $330 for England, I predict. Yeah, I mean, 300 now looks like a cakewalk at this point. Oh, miss fielding. Luckily, it didn't catch him. It didn't cost him another run. Oh, that's so funny. I'd be defending all the balls. Look at the different approaches to batting by Craig Brathwaite and Corinne Pollard. Oh yeah, definitely different approaches. I see that. 285 or below. Constitutionalist citizenry. I hope you're right. All right. I'm gonna at 7:56. I'm gonna stay through Zampa's last over because I know he's gonna get me a wicket. Ooh. Later, guys. Later. I just want to stay through this last over. Check it out. You guys are awesome. Zampa, man of the series. He might be for sure. I mean, I think he's been the best player on Australia, and that's crazy when you think about the bowlers they have. But he's definitely been the best bowler. Man bun of the series. Yeah, Jody wanted to fix his hair. That was the first thing she said. She said, I want to fix his hair. He's got the mullet going on. Oh, that's so funny. All right, last ball here. Last ball. Get me this wicket. Get Bairstow out of there. Oh my gosh. Bairstow's at 111 runs. You could do this, Zampa. Hit him with the googly. Oh. Well played. Well played. All right, guys. That's it. I'm leaving you guys in the 40th over. 220 for 5. 220 for 5, man. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Look out for our video later on today. I'll be dropping one. Well, later on tonight, I should say. And hopefully Nick and I can do a R3 wickets early enough in the day for you guys to catch it on this England and Australia ODI series from Studio B. From Studio B, guys. Much love. And as well, actually, the new calling card, all right? All right. I've been using it since the new Mandalorian trailer dropped yesterday. This is the way. Later, guys.